Good morning. All right. Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. We're going to sew because it's breakfast time, and that's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. I gotta think of something for breakfast at Tiffany's because I always say Sunday, where we sew on a Sunday. Well, breakfast at Tiffany's, where we have pancake fabric.
You don't have a saying for it. Trying to get at.
I don't have a saying for it. All right, let's see who's all here. Karen, Norma, Judy, Linda, Kim, Cindy, Tracy, Quilt Crazy, Marilyn, Diane, and plenty more because some of these, I just don't like that YouTube did that because for the life of me, I don't know who half of you are anymore. I've been seeing the same names for, 8 years?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden YouTube changes it, and now I see the YouTube handle thing instead, which is not your names, and it's so annoying. Bless you. All right, so if you remember the previous Breakfast at Tiffany's, we were working on this, which I think I'm going to call it DNA, or my DNA, or something, because it really I was watching a genome video the other day, and I was like, they were reading the results, and there's just these purple and green and blue colors on a chart. Oh, you have this, that. So it's going to be DNA. Oh. Anyways, it was made with, did I use a whole jelly roll? I don't remember. It's in the description of the last time's video. So Scott will probably open that and see. Anyways, but it was a jelly roll. We sewed all the strips together into 2s and then turned those into 4s and then turned the 4s into 8 and so on and so forth until I had this. And then I added the top and bottom, which you can't fully, well, you can kind of see. These are different lengths, and it gets to, what was it, 73 or 74 inches or something like that in height. So that's where we're at. And I said, well, you'll have to wait till next time because we were out of time for the day to add more to it. Because I said, this is not enough. I'm not going to just connect them like this. I want something in between. So that's what we're going to do today is add 1.5 inch strips in between every single one of these and one on each end for a total of 30 strips. That's why I said we needed a lot of yardage. So we're going to cut 30 1.5 inch strips, and then that's what we're going to do. And so I'm on, which is going to take me a minute to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get a ruler and a rotary cutter. I'm going to cut 30 strips because you need 2 strips per, because like fabric is, I always say it's 42 because I take away the selvage. So that would mean it's 84 inches when you hook 2 together, right? And this is 70 something. So we'll trim off the excess as needed. But, that's just how I did the math on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting myself 31.5 inch strips for this project. And I'll update the description. I just didn't get a chance to do that with what's in last time's video about how much yardage and stuff was required because I already forgot. It's only been 2 weeks, so I forget that quick. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. I cannot lay my ruler down today for the life of me. What's going on, brain? All right, that's 3, 4. This is going to take a while. I even took a shower thinking it would wake me up, but you know what? It didn't. 5, 6. Oh my goodness. Come on.
While you're doing that, tell them how your birthday was.
Hold on. I'm going to lose count. 7, 8. Keep them straight. So I had a lovely birthday. I spent it in bed. If you were on Facebook, you would know because I said it there. I said thank you to everyone for all the birthday wishes. I spent it in bed. That's how my birthday went. I just wanted one day to feel old. You know that feel old and feel sorry for yourself and then move on. Yeah, well, I just wanted one day to do that. Stayed in bed, watched TV, watched movies, and then Scott got me Panda Express because when it comes to like Chinese food or fake Chinese food or whatever, that's all I really like is Panda Express. I don't eat sushi or anything. I just like, I'm weird, all fried rice and all orange chicken. That's all I like. Sometimes I'll mix it up and get some chow mein, but 90% of the time, it's fried rice and orange chicken. I'm going to be at this cutting for a while. Oy, oy, oy. I don't even know what number I'm at anymore.
Is each one or is each
2.
20. That'll be 22.
Yeah, that won't be 22. Can you turn the iron on?
Yes.
I'm going to just set this aside for you to make flat.
Okay. I get to iron it.
Yep. And we'll start
Just
with
as
another
it
one.
is,
What are
right
we
like
at
this?
again? Yeah, no. Like this.
Okay.
It just won't stay open.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's a 20 stack. So I need to cut 10 more. I'll get 2 from the one he is ironing for me. And then just need to cut 8 from this. And that'll still leave me with some purple for next time, or the top and bottom, just to make it taller if it needs to be.
Sink extravaganza on Monday.
I will in 2 seconds. All right, that looks straight. Oh, there's my trash can. Thank
Do
you.
you want me to move that where it goes?
Nope, because it'll be in my way. I need to cut 8 from this. So on, what was it, Monday?
Monday.
Yeah, Monday we replaced our kitchen sink. It really needed it. It was bad. Really bad. But we have hard water here, so it pretty much, the calcium, lime, and whatever all's in the water pretty much rotted. The faucet, let's just say, the new sink we ordered and put in was smaller than it's supposed to be, so it barely fits. We had plumbing problems. Every problem that could arise happened while we were replacing our kitchen sink. Also, that we could have one deep dish, big stainless steel sink with a nice tall faucet where the handle comes out of it, so that we could wash Thumper. Because Thumper needed a tub, but not the bathtub, because he really does not like to be bathed in a bathtub. So now he has a giant kitchen sink tub, but putting it there was a disaster. We spent like 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon putting in a kitchen sink. I mean, how hard could it be? But no, it was just a disaster. All right, I'm going to cut my last 2. That would make 10. Yeah. Oh, don't do that, Tiffany. That is now crooked. Let's straighten it back up. Right there. Land in the trash. Thank you. So we got a new kitchen sink, though. It's nice. It complements the fact that we have a stainless steel refrigerator, but it's really hard to keep it not water spotty and fingerprints. Because, yeah, I didn't even think about those things. I just wanted it to be stainless steel, so it'd be nice and a nice big bowl, but my actual original intention was for a farmhouse sink. We definitely don't have the style kitchen for that, and we don't have, what's the word for it? The counters for a farmhouse sink. It would have just been a hassle trying to do one. But, you know, the new one's in. That's all that matters. We have a kitchen sink. Since you need a kitchen sink. Everybody needs a kitchen sink. All right, that's going to go in my random with the fabric strings bin. And I have all 30 of my strips cut. And what I'm going to do is sew them together after I cut the selvage off into sets of 2. This may take me a while as well, because this is a lot of work. Making a quilt is a lot of work. But you already knew that, because you make quilts like I do. All right, let's cut the selvage off all these, and then I'm going to sew them. All right, and then I'll turn all these, cut those selvages, sets of 2. And you could probably get away with like 27 or 28 strips this way, and then just sew them all together end to end, and then just, you know, use some for this one, use some for that one. But I don't want to have any seams landing around edges, because I don't like that. It drives my brain nuts. Oh man, I gotta press that. And press this one too. What? It's from the fabric being folded for 2 weeks. I did have it all flat. Let's cut all these off and then move them up. Sorry, I'm working a little on the slow side today. I made a quilt yesterday, just a little thing, off camera, because it was, like I said, on Sunday, I'm taking projects that people started and sent me, and I'm figuring out what stage they are in and sewing them together. Well, this one was just a bag of randomness. I think it was just leftovers, honestly, from making a quilt. So I made a little quilt from the leftovers. Just a little baby quilt, but at least I got something done yesterday. And then I started filming Open Gate, but obviously I didn't finish because, you know, so Open Gate will probably be either tomorrow or Saturday the video will come out, because I still have to, you know, sew the second project and edit the whole thing. All right, I'm going to sew all these together now. Not end to end like I normally would. Oh, and I also need a better stitch length because I was top stitching. So I literally just pull out the bottom piece and the next 2 are right sides together, because I'm only sewing them, you know, 2 together at a time. So this shouldn't take too long. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. How about that? What's everybody sewing? Anything fun and exciting? Well, all things quilting is fun and exciting, but you can say it in the chat. And
We'll tell them your Open Gates came yesterday, so you were working on that too.
yeah, my Open Gate came yesterday. I was working. I just said that. Yeah, I was working on it, but I stopped at the second project. You know, when you just get tired, you know, because I had already made one thing, I was like, okay, I'm done for the day. Normally, I do the whole thing in one day. I'm up sometimes till like 9 o'clock at night trying to film it and edit it, you know, but yesterday I just didn't want to sew anymore. I was done at like 6 p.m. It's like, nope, I'm good. Ooh, someone's working on a Jacob's ladder. I like that. I did a Jacob's ladder. I did actually a few Jacob's ladder. I even did Jacob's ladder minis because they're so fun. Halloween snowball quilt. Ooh. We got a being lazy. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being lazy. I love being lazy.
Well, that's what we did yesterday.
Yep, that's what I did
Both
on
of
my
us had to be
birthday.
lazy because our backs were killing us.
Because, you know, if I would have not chose for it to be a lazy day on my birthday, I would have still been a lazy day because of all of Monday's, you know, installing the sink fiasco. I don't think I've done the squats as much as I did on Monday in a long, long time, trying to, you know, help him. And he's, you know, trying to get under the sink and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's one thing. You got to be a little bit nimble to change a sink because you need to get under the cupboards. All right, all of these are now sewn together. Just gonna snippet them apart. And then get them sewn on. All right, I'm just gonna leave them not pressed because I'll just, you know, they'll get pressed when I sew them on. So I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna do all the one side, so literally this side of everything until I get to that end, and then I'll sew the one on this end on the opposite side. So I'm gonna start with just sewing it all to the right, all the pieces. And I'm not going to change the order. I just threw these up on the wall and said, oh, okay, that looks good. I'm not going to change the order. I'm just going to leave it, and that's it.
Is that the same order they were last time, or did you do it different?
It's a different order than they were last time. I kind of just started throwing them up on the wall. All right, so I'm just going to line this up and sew all the way down. See which way are those seams going? Oh, I don't even know. They're all going all sorts of ways. I'm going to start from the top. It's going to hang over on the bottom. I could cut to size, but do I want to? No. What?
What kind of blades do you use in your martelli?
What kind of blades do I use in my martelli? Martelli. That's what I have. But when I'm done with I had 2 10-packs. When I'm done with those, then I'll move on to a different blade. Because I have some Olfa blades and some Fiskars blades, but the martelli cutter, you can use any blade. All right, I don't want these seams to flip on me. I'm trying to keep it as flat as possible. And yes, I'm continuously sewing. It's really easy to do. Huh?
Can I martelli cut in a slotted ruler?
Can martelli cut in a slotted ruler? Yes. I use my Creative Grids Stripology ruler with it just fine. All right, so I'm just going to cut it to size for now. The whole entire quilt on the one side is going to, because they're all going to be lined up at the top, but the bottom will have to be trimmed to, you know, be equal, only because Some of these didn't turn out exactly however many inches. So I'm still going to have to trim either way. So I'm just going to trim that. And you know what? No, I'll just throw those over there. Like I said, like I don't know, every 10 of these would have made another one. So like I said, you could probably get away with like 27, 28 strips instead of 30. But I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to sew them on. So now I'm just going to grab the next one. Just going to chain piece all these through. Oh, I just realized my microphone cord is tangled up under my shirt funky. Let's fix that real quick. There we go. Stop yanking. All right, grab another one. Make sure that I'm putting it right sides together, and sew. Put the whole thing on my lap, which makes it easier to continuously sew. Make sure that first seam is come on. Once the bottom is on the table, I'm just going to fold it up on itself and trim it. Bam! Cut to size. Grab another strip.
And another one bites the dust, right?
Yep. Just one right after the other, until they are all sewn up. Now you know why I blow motors in my machines.
Yeah.
Because I do that. All right.
How often do you oil your Juki?
I oil my Juki. It depends, because sometimes it's like twice a week, sometimes it's only once a week. And then there have been times that I forget and go 2 weeks. My oiler broke, my long stemmed one that goes in. So now I'm trying to get oil in with this thing, but this thicker opening doesn't fit in the 2 oil holes that are on the base. So all I ever do is just make a giant mess. It's really nice to have a long oiler stem, which is what I use for my I have one out at the long arm, and I thought I had one at the embroidery machine, but guess not. Yeah, this is my own making up things. Yeah. Yeah, this is just me having fun with Jelly Roll. I think a Jelly Roll, and what was it? I'm pretty sure it was like, I had 4 total yards, but I don't think we needed 4. I say it in the last time's video, and it's written in the description there. One of these. I got to tell you, the magnetic seam guide makes this even more possible. But the other day I was sewing something and I was continuously sewing without the seam guide. And you know what? It was a little wavy, but it wasn't horrible. All right. I don't know why, but I find it mesmerizing to myself when I'm sewing like that. Oh, stay up here. Grab another set. Make sure it's right side. Even if it wasn't right side up, when you get close to it and it was upside down accidentally and you get close to it, you can just rip that seam and then sew it the opposite way so that the seam is where it's supposed to be. I don't know if you guys knew that you can do that, but you can. You know, solids are the ones that I get turned around all the time because it's solid, you know. So if I wasn't really paying attention, I could flip that seam when I get to it if I wanted. So like right now, here's the seam. If it was upside down, you know, facing the wrong way, and I'm like, oh man, you can just pick it out, flip it the other way, sew it, you know, break thread, sew it, and then bam, it's fixed. Am I the fastest machine slinger in the West?
Wouldn't it be fabric slinger?
Fabric slinger, machine slinger, whatever. I thought it would be funny because the fastest gunslinger in the West was, I don't even remember who, but you know.
I know what you're saying. I guess you can use machine.
Got to get some bobbin thread up in there. It isn't going to last forever, you know.
What's the app where you load a picture of fabric to try and find it? Do you know?
Google. You just literally open Google, the Google whatever internet on your phone, and right next to where you would type, there is a little picture with like a play button looking thing. You click that and that's image. So then you just click it and it will take you to, oh, can I see it? My brain. There we go. It takes you to Google Lens. You just press take picture and it'll find what you're looking for. And if there isn't anything available, it's because it was probably never listed on the internet in the first place. So you can't take a picture of your cousin James because he's not going to show up because he never, you know, had a Facebook or anything. But it'll find things, even pictures of people, like, you know, old-fashioned pictures or something. Yeah, I use it all the time. Not to find old cousins or family or anything, but just because, you know, I need to find the name of a fabric, or I need to find, you know, a pattern. Like, I have lots of patterns that are old that have been given to me, or books and stuff, to find where it's available online. You know, say someone had a book in their room, but they didn't want to part with it yet. So you want one of your own. You know, the best way to do is just Google Lens it. And then, bam, you find what you're looking for. Most places are like Etsy and Amazon and eBay and stuff like that are the places you'll find the products, you know, if it's a product that you're looking for. But like for fabric, if the fabric is still a current fabric line, it will take me to Fat Quarter Shop or Missouri Star or the things that sell those current fabric lines. Just make sure you take a nice close clear picture of it. That way it's easier for Google to find it. I swear I should just get sponsored by Google, you know? That's what I get for being a Googleaholic. Out of all the technology, I think that's the greatest because, you know, I love antique furniture. Beautiful, beautiful. But sometimes there are new furnitures that look like they're antique and they're not. So you can actually take a picture of that item or the branding name that's somewhere on it, like the furniture name, and then take a picture of it in the Google Lens and look it up and find out that it was only made in 1980. And this whole entire time your family's been duping you, telling you, oh, that was your great-great-great-grandmother's, you know? But it's not. That's how I found out the hutch in my living room, in my dining room that my great aunt gave me is actually really old. The wood and everything looks so new. It's just because she took such good care of it. Or if you have an item in your sewing room and you're like, what the heck is this thing for? You know, like because somebody gave you a box of junk. You're like, what is this for? What does this do? You can find it out on Google Lens. You can even get, like, say, food, probably, and take a picture of, you know, the box of food and find out which store has it on sale just by Googling it and using the shopping part of things. And maybe it'll show what store has whatever item on sale. What size of the rectangles? So these are 2.5-inch rectangles sewn together. So I took a jelly roll, sewed sets of 2. Those 2 into 4, those 4 into 8, blah, 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 until I just had tons of rectangles. They were trimmed down, the units were trimmed down to 4.5 inches. So this is 4.5 by 2.5. And then I just cut them to, all of these are the same length, but the top and bottoms are different so that they can taper one way or the other. If you want to start from the beginning, I pretty much go into detail of what I'm doing on the previous Breakfast at Tiffany's episode, which again, after the live stream, I'll try to remember to put the items needed or the amount of fabric needed in the description, as well as a link to the previous video. I just didn't get a chance to do that yesterday. I created the live and then was like, oh, I got other things to do. All right, now I'm just hooking 1.5 inch strips in between. And I think I remember correctly, I think Karen, because she likes to write things up, I think she even said the bottom and the top piece is like 22 inches of fabric and it's just cut at different sizes. I think that's what was said. So there was that many inches worth that I was cutting from the strips. Because all of these were the same size. And Karen's the one that writes all my stuff out into the Facebook group. So if you ever need to refer back and need something written down from a video, join that Facebook group because that's where you'll find it all. I am not putting it in any other place. It's in the files in the Facebook group. And Karen donates all her time for free to put that stuff in there for me. So big thank you to Karen for always keeping up on putting all the directions and stuff into a PDF form for those of you who need to follow that. Sometimes, like on filmed videos, I'll put all that stuff in the description below the video, but she'll still write a PDF for it to find it. And sometimes she puts diagrams and everything in there. Big kudos to her for doing that. But you got to be part of the Facebook group to get it because I have tried putting them in the description of the videos. I've tried linking all these PDFs to other things and it just doesn't work. So we just keep it as it is. It's all in the Facebook group. Even if you just join with your name, you know, and a picture of yourself and fill out the questions or whatever, and you don't even have any friends or anything, you can make your friends and just use Facebook for the group specifically. Because we have quite a few members that are already in the group that do that. They just have a profile picture. They don't even have friends or anything. They're just in the group to learn things and get inspiration from others. And when you do that, you at least don't go get any ads on Facebook. If you don't have anything to look at and no friends' stories to read and stuff, you'll have an ad-free Facebook. Grab another. The fun part is going to be pressing these because they're longer than my ironing board. Such a fun quilt. Maybe it's because it allows me to speed race sew. That's why it's so fun. Because all the jelly roll strips I put together just by doing the same method of continuously sewing. Huh? How many background? Oh, I'm pretty sure it's a little over 2 yards. I think I said 2.5 yards. Well, I used up 2 already, and then I just cut 8 1.5 inch strips from my second set of 2 yards. So, yeah. They're 1.5 inches. The ones that I'm sewing on now. All right, look at that. 3 more to go, and then we can start pressing all these, which will take probably forever, but that's okay, because we're going to try not to bow our strips, because they, they're long and skinny, so they're going to try to want to, like you can see them hanging on the wall, because I hung them up. It's hard not to bow them, I guess is the word, because they are skinnier strips and a long. Got to try to keep that pile from folding itself under, because I've accidentally sewn onto itself before. Oops, don't do that. Don't veer off. All right, 2 more. There should be 3 more sets of 2 left. So this one will go on, and then the next one will go on, and then we'll have, when we get it all together, we'll put the final one on the outer side. Then we'll be able to trim everything nicely, and once it's all sewn together. Oh, duh, I was gonna grab the next one. I didn't even finish sewing this one. 1 more. Whew. No, I have water, thank you. All right, and then there should be 1 more set of 2 strips left for that first piece. Where's the seam? There it is. Oh, come on. I have a little tiny baby hair that's scratching me, or it's making it feel like there's a fly on my face, but it's just my baby hairs. Driving me nuts. And I never pull and tug when I'm doing that. I just let it pull through on its own. The feed dogs do the work. And I don't really ever have a problem. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just cut them off and then press them one at a time and put them back on the wall the opposite direction. That way I don't get myself lost on what piece actually went where. Honestly, I have no idea at the moment. I did not do that. Yeah, just leave the camera right where it is. I'm just going to be back and forth. Sorry, guys.
unless you iron them.
I don't know. Did you want to watch me iron these things? Just pressing it back. Huh? All right. Let's put one up, which was this end. See if I can put them on the wall without bowing them. Because that's earlier. I just like put them on the wall and they were just like bowing. Because I guess I can't lay things straight. Oh, that's going to be the next one. One and a half. The other parts are sections of 4.5 from jelly roll strips, which are 2.5. All right. Oh, that's going to be so cool. So cool. When I finish this one, I'll be able to show you guys the previous one that I did when I was just screwing around and what gave me the idea to do this. Ouch. I just got my pinky toe on my desk. Oh, that hurt so bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to
Oh,
sit down?
nope. We're going to keep going. Whoever's joining in and doesn't see anyone here and all they hear is pinky toe pain. Oh, I hate when don't you just hate it, stubbing toes? Oh, it's the worst. Especially the pinky toe and the one next to it, the ring toe. Next.
That's looking pretty cool.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. I like it because of the purple, since it's my favorite color. Oh, yeah. 2 times it. Oh. Right. And if you've never been to my channel before, what I'm using as a design wall is just cotton batting attached to the wall with some pins and kind of just floating down. I tried to shove it behind the shelves, but it keeps falling out because it's, been up there for a while. It's been up there for like 2 years now. Time for a new piece that's a little bit bigger so it fits behind the shelves better, so that way it doesn't come out from behind the shelves when I'm trying to pull fabric down. But it's however tall so that I can reach and 72 inches wide, which allows me to do most projects, but there are queen and king size quilts that I do that do not fit on the wall. Oh my gosh, right there. Hold it, snip it. I really wanted to do a foam backed design wall originally, but that would have just been more work having to put that together. I mean, I buy the batting by the roll, so I can change it out anytime. And I'll just put this one behind a dark quilt, and you would never know. All the little threads that are hooked to the wall. It's starting to look like I laid them all crooked again. Oops. Hot. One thing about this iron is it gets really hot.
Hey, it's in Morocco.
Yeah.
Ready to shave, iron, everything. All in one.
It's ready to burn your man's face.
Yeah.
Burn your man's face off with a Norelco iron. You know, when I was younger, I used to actually iron my hair. My hair is straight already, but I liked to iron it straighter. I literally would just take an iron and iron my hair. I don't do that anymore. It's long enough if I wanted to, I could. But when I was younger, I used to do it all the time when my hair was really long.
Yeah, I don't iron my hair no more either.
That's because you don't have no hair, mister. I feel like I'm standing on my tippy toes. I'm definitely like going up with this.
That looks pretty straight to me. The bottom doesn't look too far off either. It looks pretty straight.
These jelly rolls didn't even go together either. There were two, but they were half jelly rolls. That's what it is. One jelly roll, because this was two half jelly rolls of two different ones. Yeah. And they didn't even go together, but they do go together, which is even awesomer. Awesomer. That's a good word. I like it. I'm going to use it more. Awesomer. It's probably not going to fit on the wall now with these on it until I sew them together. But we'll see. We'll see in a minute.
It looks good though.
There's quite a few left to go. I think there's 12 or 14 of them. Is there 12 or 14? What did I do? I don't remember. There's 14 because, yeah, there's 14 because I cut 30 strips. That means there's 15 in betweens. And there's 2 per thing. And there's a start and an end.
You got 10 already, so you're almost there.
Yeah. Oops.
picture actually. The wife is throwing off the look.
I don't want to sit and adjust all these. I'm going to kind of overlap this one because I kind of, that's the last one, yeah. This is just something really simple to do with a jelly roll, you know, with some extra fabric. Gives it that look. All right, I'm on the last one. So what I'm going to do, because I'm on this last one, is I'm going to turn it around and attach this other side to it real quick. That way I can go with the iron and iron both sides of it. Make sure that seam is going the way it's supposed to. Going the opposite way. So all the seams are facing the opposite way and they keep hitting the lip of the needle plate. Stop sewing here. All right, all those can just go over there now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and press this last one and then we will start putting them together into twos. Because they are really, really long strips, and to prevent them from bowing, it's best to do twos, then four, so on and so forth. But if you keep everything nice and flat, it should all come together nicely. Somebody came to visit. Yeah, you're gonna fall right off that chair. You can just stand up, I'll fix it. There we go, sit now.
I couldn't get it to slide over because it was half on the mat and half off. That's why.
All right. Say hi, everybody.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, we're going down.
All right, so here's my first piece. I'm just going to lay it right here next to me because there's no room for it on the wall. I'm also going to slide this because now it's a disaster over here. Oh yeah, when we were doing the kitchen sink, he was absolute terror kitty because we took everything out from under the sink, which is all the cleaning supplies and stuff. And as we're tearing the old one out, we're making a mess, you know, with the caulking and the wood pieces and all that and scraping stuff off. And he really wanted in that cupboard. Every time we turned our head, he was trying to get in it. And then he got mad because we moved his food from one spot so that we can keep him out of the kitchen. He just wanted his food to another spot where he could see. It was there. He sniffed it. He knew it was there. But he kept going to the spot where it's supposed to be. Kept coming through the kitchen, so we kept kicking him out. He didn't eat the whole time until we moved his food. As soon as we were done cleaning up for the day and put his food where it goes, he literally stopped pacing the kitchen. It was like, what the heck are you doing, kitty? All right, so now I'm going to sew these together. So I'm going to hook these two together, and then I'll grab these two together, these two, those two, blah, 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 until they're all sewn together. Okay, that's going to fall, so I got to put that under there. First two. Now for the second two. Right sides together. Put it all on my lap. And sew. Oh, well, that one's bigger by almost a whole inch. All right, two more. And I'm going to press everything towards the sashing piece that's in between. Just thought I'd say that. I forgot to tell you that pressing everything towards the sashing. I go veering off again. Huh?
You need to check your bobbin.
Huh, I just let it run out. I don't need to check the bobbin. When it runs out, it runs out. I don't hear it making the tinkle. It's like a ting 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 sound. It makes that kind of sound when it's starting to get empty. And there it is, right there. But I was sewing so fast, I didn't hear it. Oh, that's not the right color bobbin. Right. Really long thread here. Cut that off. Right, one more time of that, and then we can press and start turning them into sets of 4 until the whole thing is sewn up. Goes pretty quick once you do this way. It should come out to being a square quilt, hopefully. Because I still have to trim the bottom and stuff to make sure everything's nice and straight. So it'll take it from 74 down to, or 76, whatever it was, to whatever. Huh? Oh, Thumper is a knitted ragdoll. But maybe a mix of snowshoe in there because most of his life he was a snowshoe, according to us. All right, so I'm going to do the same procedure where I press it and put it back on the wall, or else I'll never get these back into the spot I had them. And again, I'm pressing towards the sashing. there. Hopefully that will be far enough over. Coming together. Kind of just hooking the top only. Okay, one more. No.
They're saying how much they love it.
I love it. I think it looks amazing.
Love it.
You don't have to flatten them out. I'm just going to pull them right back down again. No sense. I'm just tossing them up there, sort of. Nope, not helping. The bigger they are, the more it pulls on the wall, and then it comes out from behind the shelves and makes a disaster. All right, so I'm going to take this one Now we're gonna hook it. Stay. To this one. And I do have to sit every single time to do this because it's such a long seam. Ow, son of a... It's toes. I keep getting my toes. Same 2 toes again, all over again. Ah.
I'm sorry, honey.
And it's the foot that I put on the foot pedal too. Oh, it's not. It's not happy at all now. It's even more pissed off. Sorry, guys. Pinky toe problems. So this one I have to be a little bit more careful because now I'm sewing 4 together and it's harder to control with my fingers to speed sew through. And just because I'm going to press it now and then put it up and sew the next 2 and then press, you know, do that instead of all at once. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. Open up. Open up. Again, pressing towards the sashing piece that I've added. Yep, trying to melt you. Scott went and like forcefully moved his head out of the way because I was holding the iron outward towards his face.
Like right at me.
All right, those are sewn together. Now sew these together. And you can pin if you need to for these kind of long seams. I, however, avoid pinning at all costs.
How wide is the sashing between the rows?
The sashing between is 1.5 inches. Am I going to put on a second border? I might. Depends on what I can find in my fabric room that would go with it. I love adding borders. Borders make, I think, finish off a quilt, you know? So I do have a space one, I think. I don't know what it is. It might be in my boutiques, though. It might not look right. We'll see. I got a bunch of fabric. Way. So I'm going to go ahead and press this one and then put it up.
Water, you ain't gonna have no steam. Dark teal.
I could do a teal too, yeah. I have tons of fabric. Don't get me wrong. I'm just gonna try to find something that matches. Okay. Ah! Stepping on things.
Don't stub your toes again.
I'm trying not to stub my toes. All right, put these two together.
Steel-toed slippers around here.
Steel-toed slippers. Then my feet would be super hot.
Yeah. That was actually bad.
Steel-toed slippers, right?
Your feet would be hot, but your toes wouldn't be stubbed.
Yeah, my toes wouldn't be stubbed. You know, and the funny thing is in my bedroom we have one of those adjustable bed things, but the posts that hold it up are kind of within, so I never stub my toes on my own bed. I used to on our old one because most of the old frames, the thing comes to the edge, but this one the posts are in like this far in, all the way around, so you don't stub your toes ever. But my previous bed frame, on the other hand, that one was a toe stubber. And it was the thinner metal pieces too, so it get right between the toes just right, and whoo-wee. It's only this room, really, that I stub my toes all the time. Or I run them over with the chair, which happens a lot. It happens while I'm filming sometimes too. And I have to cut that section out because yeah, I get mad. A few choice words come out, so I got to edit those out. Trying to keep all these seams facing the one way. I don't want them all to flip. Come on, stay flat. And then that last and final seam faces down. Why couldn't they all just be the same direction?
What stitch length do you piece with?
What?
What stitch length do you piece with?
I piece with a 2.0 stitch length because when I stitch with a 2.0 stitch length and I go to open my piece on the long arm, it's going to stretch the fabric a little. And if I go like this and you can see your thread, you don't want that. Because once you start quilting it, it leaves them open and then you can see your whatever color thread you used. I'm using white thread on this light purple project. So if I pull on these seams, I don't even see the thread, but if you used a black, you would see that, especially if you have a 2.5 stitch length or more. So I prefer a 2.0. That way, when it gets to the long arm and I'm stitching in a ditch and I'm doing all those things and stretching and moving the fabric on the long arm and moving things around, none of my seams burst open. They all stay nice and closed the way they're supposed to.
That works.
Yep, I highly, highly, highly recommend a 2.0 stitch length when you're piecing your quilts, especially if you're going to send it to a long armer, because on the long arm, it does stretch the quilt. Especially when I float the quilt, which is I do with pretty much every quilt, you float the quilt tops. it gets stood on and moved around and so on and so forth. So those seams get tugged on. The more they get tugged on, the more they open up. And if you have a wider stitch length, then you are definitely going to have some open seams. Plus, it looks cleaner when you can't see the thread from the top of the quilt. Yeah, I float all quilt tops except for 2 in my whole entire time. Yeah. The fancy one from across the street, the big fancy one, I hooked that too, even though it shifted the whole way and still wasn't where it was supposed to be. All right, while this is down, I'm going to hook this one to it. And then I'll hook those 2 together and then hook all of the whole thing together. It was a show one. Trying to think. My diamond, the girl's best friend, the diamond quilt. The one that's called a girl's best friend. That's in the room, you know? That one was hooked to the leaders. Seam flipped anyway. Held it down all the way to the edge. Oh. And go ahead and press that towards the sashing, then hook those 2 together, and then hook the units together. Then this quilt top part will be complete. And then I'll possibly think about borders. If I get this thing flat, I'm out of ironing board space now. The long skinny strips were so much easier. Now it's like pressing a whole quilt. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just leave that right there for the moment. Hook this one to this one. See if I can get this whole thing on my lap without tangling it up. No, that's not going to work. Flat. Stay flat. Flat, flat, flat. Right there. There we go. lined up. There we go. Oh, no. Okay, so this was the front two pieces. Go ahead and take these bottom side right here, like that, press this. One more seam. Woohoo! All right, so this was the first the first section. We're gonna go ahead and put this section on top. I'm gonna attempt my best, lining it up, placing it on my lap, and the rest of it onto the table to keep it from bowing. I mean, because it's gonna yank it. Because it's pretty big, connecting the two sections. So just very carefully adjust and sew, adjust and sew. You would have to do it whether you pinned or not. Because you have to keep it flat and square on a table as best as you can. Because it tries to go that way. Don't know why. And I usually use my arm to hold it. All right, I'm going to press it and then I'll put it back on the wall. And I'll do an overall press the whole thing when I go to quilt it. I'm not even going to bother pressing the whole thing right now. Well, actually, I'll probably press better after I get a border, if I do choose to put a border on it. All right, so just give me a second to get this pressed, and then I will hang it on the wall. Oh, actually, instead of hanging it on the wall, first I'm going to trim it. So, let me just move this out of the way, over to there, that over to there. My top side was lined up the whole entire time. So this side is nice and straight. The bottom, on the other hand, is not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this before we hang it on the wall. I'm going to match my two ends up right here. And what I'm going to do is match this, see, nice and straight across the top. I'm going to line this whole edge up all the way down. Just, I let go of the top half, but I'm still holding on my way down. Lining it up. It's not going to line up at the end because it's not the same size, and you can see it's jaggedy at the end. So I'm going to smooth it out right here. Not letting this go where I held it. Nice and straight, everything. Flat, flat. It's smoothed out. And now I'm going to trim it. Nice and square. Which is probably not going to be square anymore because it fell to the ground. One more time. One more time. Keeping it lined up. You can actually clip it if you wanted to. Just not let the whole thing fall to the floor. How about that?
You need a hand? I'm right here.
Now, release that one and then keep this on the table. Okay, here we go. I'm good now. That's where it goes, right there. And now I'm going to cut it to its shortest one, which is somewhere on here. I'm going to line the lines up with the sashing. You know what? I'm not even going to do it that way. You know why? Because it's still moving. It's not staying flat on my table because I don't have a weight to put on it.
You want to wait? I can
Nope.
get you something.
My shortest one is this one right here. So I'm going to cut everything to that length. Right there.
It's going to be your longest one on the other side, huh?
Yeah. Just going to grab a long ruler. I was going to try to do it folded in half, but unfortunately, it doesn't want to cooperate. All right, here we go. Straight line. Line that end up. Right here. It's yanking. We don't want yanking, but right there, and that's straight right there. It's not, because these are all straight. See, they're lined up.
Ah, okay, I gotcha. Oh, that's a lot of cutting off.
Yep. Yep, you can see I'm losing a lot on my bottom. I told you guys it's going to be a square quilt most likely. I'm using the side to line it up, and then I use the lines on the ruler, which Scott didn't know that I was doing just now, to keep this nice and square. Square, square. Yep, that's perfect right there. And one more cut. I only needed to do the one side because the other side is good. It just needs a border attached to it. So this is nice and square right here. It's square on these lines right there, square right there, and ta-da! So yeah, it really tapered down all the way down to super skinny. All right, move that out of the way, hang this up on the wall. Okay, your help turn, please.
Yeah.
And then we'll decide what we're hanging it on the wall. Go all the way to the end, please. As far as you can go. Thank you. A little bit higher, right there. Perfect. And smooth it out. I got it.
Good.
All right, there it is.
That was really good.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me a measuring device over there.
Tape measure?
Yes, please.
Give me a holding knife.
Oh, yes, please. It's not fully smoothed out, so this is just the rough estimate at this moment. It is 71 3/4, but it's, like I said, not smoothed out, by 72. So it is literally a square quilt by the time I finished. Go figure. I knew it was going to be. All right, let me back this camera up so that you can see better. Like this. Right there. So there's DNA. I love the name, DNA.
What jelly roll did you use?
These were just, I don't know, Joann's jelly rolls. I don't even know. They just said FR, which is fabric roll on them. Walmart even sells FR, fabric roll. I'm going to go to the other room real quick, just by my brain, and see something for a border. Oh, that's not the right color. Yeah, that wouldn't work. But this, oh, that's so pretty. I don't want to cut it. Where's that space fabric that I had? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find a space fabric, and I'm literally talking out loud when you can't even see me. I have no idea where all my specialty fabrics. Oh, there it is, space fabric right here. Oh, that's not the right colors at all. No, no, and no. No, no, and yeah, none of these are the right color. I only had 3 space fabrics? Go figure. Oh well, we can just leave it as it is. Hold on, I'm looking at it again and then walking away, looking at it, walking away. I have these all in 2 rooms, so I can't look in the same exact room for everything, you know? I have to go back and forth. That's not the right color. Definitely not the right color. No. I wonder if this is the right teal. Ha-ha! Perfect.
Right, it's like peacock feathers on that, huh?
Yeah, goes with all of them.
Where'd you find that? Yeah, it looks peacock.
But it's not. It matches though. It's the same. It's the same teal. See? It's the same teal color. Perfect. That's what I'll use. So what did I say this quilt was? I'm just going to call it 72 by 72.
By 72, yes.
And then let's figure out our borders real quick. So that way off the top we get that figured out. And then we know what we need to cut. But I probably won't do it on this live. I'll just add them in when I get a chance. So I'm using the Robert Kaufman Quilting app to figure out how much borders I need. Although I already know that I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we're going to make sure one more time. 42, 72, 72. And I only want the 1 border because the other stuff's already around it. Let's say we want what? A 4.5 or 5. We're going to do 5-inch border. Calculate. I need 8 strips. Like I said, I just went by the fact that, like I said earlier, fabric is 44 inches from selvage to selvage. When you cut the selvage away, it should give you about 40 to 44, but all solids usually have 42. So that gave me 84 inches originally. So if I was to take 2 strips, 2 strips, 2 strips, you know what I mean? All the way around for each side because it's 72, I still have plenty for a 5-inch on each side when I get to the top and bottom. So I need 8 5-inch strips. And then I'm going to cut those out real quick off of here. And then I'm going to show you guys the previous one that I made and then get off of here. I'll sew the borders on later, but I'm going to cut them out real quickly right now. This is going to look cool. All right, there. Okay. Don't move anything. I need 8. 1. This new blade must have a nick in it because it keeps doing this.
You say that all the time. I think you need to change it.
I just changed it. It's fresh.
I know.
2.
But if it has a nick in it, I think you need to change it again. You've said that on 2 lives now.
3, 4, 5, 6, and cut 2 more. 7 and 8, right there. So there's my 8 5-inch strips, which will finish at 4.5. And I mark my fabric when I put it away, so I need to take off the amount of yardage on my little thing and put a new little tag to say how much is left on here, because there's quite a bit. It looks like about 2 yards left. So yeah, it was 2 yards 35 inches, so there's probably exactly 2 yards left. So I'll change that later. But this, can they see up there? Well, we're just going to place this like here so that they can see what it's going to look like. Oh, I like that. There we go. We went with the teal. So that's what it's going to look like all the way around. I love it. That'll be perfect. And it'll be a nice square quilt. All right. So that's that. I'm going to pull this down though so that I can show you guys what the other one looks like, which is just slightly different than this one was. But that's just because I didn't have as much jelly roll. Yes, you can turn it off. So here's my inspiration for the video. This one is long because it's not fully trimmed yet. As you can tell, this one is less strips because I didn't have full jelly roll. I don't even think this was a half a jelly. Well, no, it's probably a half a jelly roll plus like 3 or 4 extra strips, but it wasn't the full amount. So here's a blue version with glitter fabric. And instead of having 1.5 inches between them, they are 2.5 inches. But the same thing went with these being 4.5 inches, and then it was a 2.5, 4.5, 2.5, all the way across, and then on both sides. Except on this one, I went with a whole, so I cut all my strips that I needed. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. I cut 9 4.5-inch strips, and I just used the whole strip and cut it in different spots. So the top and bottom have a whole, for, selvage to selvage strip. So this one's long for like a twin bed. Am I going to miter the border? Probably because it's a directional fabric. On the other one, yes. But this is where the inspiration came from. But knowing that the purple one was wider with more strips from a whole jelly roll strip, I had to substitute and change out the 2.5 for being 1.5. That way we could still have it in the up and down direction like this instead of side to side. So there that is. So not much difference between the two, except for the, the in-between strip, the sashing.
Is the inside one and the other one 2.5 inches?
Yeah, these ones are 2.5 on this one. These ones are 1.5 on this one. But this only has, what did I say again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one only has 9 across because I didn't have a whole jelly roll, like I said. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 14. Yeah, that's right. So there that is. That's.
How wide are the blue strips? Are they the same?
Yeah, these are 4.5. 2.5-inch jelly roll strips, 4.5. Put them together, make them into 4.5-inch segments. And then on this one, like I said, because it's twin size, this one has the whole 4.5-inch, 9 4.5-inch strips off of my yardage, and they were just cut in different spots. So this is like 25 inches right here, and the rest of it's down there. You know what I mean? And I did lose a lot when I trimmed it, like this one did, but they were oversized for a reason. So that way it lined up. So there we go. I got a full-size bed one and a twin-size bed one that I don't have a border for this because, well, That's glitter fabric, and I don't have glitter fabric. That was, I think, the last glitter fabric jelly roll. I think I'm done with glitter fabric. Finally. It's been a long time. Oh, this is going to be so perfect on here. I love it. I love it. It's going to be great. All right. So by the time I come on next time, then, whenever, just remind me and I can show you the finished quilt top. I don't want to sew anymore. I'm done.
What's an hour? You're done.
Yeah. I have 10 minutes or less. So if you have any questions, ask them now or forever hold your peace. Hopefully, if you guys make it, make sure you share to the Facebook group, but you can also tag Tiffany's is it hashtag or yeah, it's hashtag Tiffany's Quilting Life on Instagram, so I can see the pictures on there. I don't use Instagram enough. I mean, I do, but I remember all the little symbols to use for things. But yeah, that way I could see whatever you post if you want to share to your social media. Or just post it in the Facebook group and I'll see it. But everything's exactly the same on both of these, except purple has 14 of these and this one has 9. Purple has 1.5 inch sashing in between. This one has 2.5. So that's the only thing that's different.
Size for a twin.
Like I said, this wasn't a full jelly roll. I think it was like 28, 27 strips of the fabric that I found. So this one's not a full. I would just say grab a whole jelly roll and make it, obviously, and then just do the 9 strips because this is a twin size right here. So
How many pieces do you have in each row going down?
how many pieces in each row on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I don't remember how much was on these. I don't think they're exactly the same because I had more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, they're 25 in each. Yep. This one's just longer because it's for a twin bed. And this one's not getting borders. That one is. Woohoo! Anything else?
I think that's it.
For those that asked, the group is literally linked right now. The link just came up in there in the chat.
Just click on it.
That's the group. It'll take you to it. Answer the questions, and you'll be approved. Either Scott or Karen, and every now and then I will get to them, but not as much. But Karen is usually on top of it, and Scott too.
I think the AI does it.
Or the AI does it. It depends. But you got to answer the questions to join. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go then. So that go ahead and eat my lunch because, well, it's breakfasty lunchtime for me. All right. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out. And the next time I see you for another Breakfast at Tiffany's episode, we will be doing something again different. Always something new. Always something new. So I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be So Sunday or Open Gate, which I don't talk with you on, but yeah, Open Gate will be on the next 2 days, hopefully.
Friday, Saturday.
Friday or
Monday.
Saturday, even Monday. I don't know. Whatever day I get it done, that's what it'll be.
Veterans Day. You never know.
All right. Bye, everybody.